Hey everybody, it's Sippy Cup. As I mentioned in my previous Starfarer video, there was going to be a new release coming out, and that has come out. This is Starfarer 0.5a Alpha, and huge improvements from the previous version. Everything that you could do in the previous version, you can still do. There's new ships, new weapons, and above all, most importantly, a new game mode, the mission mode. So, or rather I should say campaign mode. I've already gone ahead and started one campaign, and so I'll just go ahead and jump into that one right now. Go ahead and load this up. Load. So real quick, let me pause here and kind of show you what's going on. There's a few new menus here that you will not have seen in the mission mode from before, not the campaign mode, but the mission mode. So this is your fleet menu. I don't know if character is actually used yet. I suspect that it will be used in a later version, but here's your fleet. These are the ships that you control. It's persistent. They can be destroyed. If they're destroyed for good. You can board enemy ships and things like that, which is how I got most of these other ships, with a few exceptions. Some of them I bought. But anyway, when you start out, you're only going to start out with one frigate. I believe I started out with this one, the Lasher frigate here, the close support frigate. So as you can see from mousing over, there's a lot of information here, tons of information, and all of this other stuff I got from just flying around and fighting. I've lost a few ships in the process too, and I actually just bought this one. But so yeah, what do I got? I've got a destroyer, some bombers, fighter wing, an interceptor wing, and then just a bunch of assorted frigates, and then I've got a carrier. Carriers are really cool because they basically will automatically allow fighters and bombers and things like that to return and repair, which makes fighters and bombers a really good value, because if they don't get completely wiped out, as long as there's only at least one unit left in the squadron, they can return to the carrier and get buffed back up to full strength, as long as you have sufficient supplies, which is what is shown here by this bar, cargo. So let me real quick go over some of the stuff in this screen, and then I'll jump into refitting and how you customize your ships and things like that. So here is this bar, fleet. Each one of these ships has a fleet point value, which you can see in the upper right. And this comes into play in certain missions where if you have a really large fleet, you may only be able to deploy up to a certain amount until you capture some additional fleet points. And I'll go into that more later, but right now I've got 58 points worth of stuff. So then there is your hangar. I believe that this is the maximum number of fleet points worth of ships, these fighters and bombers, that you can manage with a carrier at any given time. I think if you go over this, then they won't necessarily return to the carrier. I think that's how it works, but don't quote me on that. Cargo, this is used exclusively by this supplies. Supplies are used to repair your ships when they take damage in between battles, or during battles in the case of the carrier, which can repair these things. Fuel gets used just from flying around, and then personnel is used by, let's click into cargo here, is used by your various types of personnel. So you start out with just green crew, and then as you play, your green crew is going to get promoted to regular crew, and then veteran crew, and then there's elite crew as well, but my one elite crew member got killed in one of my previous battles. And then you have marines. The more marines you have, the higher chance of being able to board a disabled craft at the end. And then I've got some various weapons and things that I've captured from destroyed ships. So let's look at the refit here real quick. Okay, so this is the fitting screen. So you can tab through your different ships here and customize all of them, with the exception of the fighters and bombers, which have sort of preset stuff. So there's a ton of complexity here, surprisingly so, more than I was expecting actually. So every ship has a set number of slots, and I've got a couple of small gripes about this system. this customization system, just a few quality of life things that I think they can improve, but basically, if you mouse over these turrets, you can click on them, and then you can change them to other things here. So this number that you see here is ordnance points. So kind of like your fleet, where you have a certain value for all of your ships, all of your weapons, and also capacitors, vents, and hull modifications have some value which can't exceed the maximum rating for the ship. So this Medusa class attack destroyer has a maximum ordnance rating of 90. So that basically gives me 90 points to work with. So right now, all of the weapons, these capacitors, and integrated targeting unit hull modification that I've got add up to 90 points. So any of this stuff I could switch if I wanted to change this. This appears to be a medium slot here, I believe. I don't know if it actually explicitly says, but I think if I go back to fleet and I mouse over this, it says what it's got, I think. But anyway, here, let's go back to refit. So yeah, basically, you know, it's easy as just clicking and replacing with what you want. I think this is, whoops, this is a pulse laser. If I wanted to change a pulse laser to a graviton beam, that has the same value of ordnance points and everything, so I can change all this stuff around. Right now this is energy based, and I'm going to probably stick with that for now. I like the fact that it doesn't take ammo and things like that. So here you can see how many flight decks it has, if applicable. This only really applies to carriers and some destroyers, I think, certain ones. This one has 1 flight deck. Here's your top speed, your armor, hull rating, which is your hull HP. So here you have the ability to allocate points into capacitors and vents. Changing the number of capacitors affects your flux capacity, which is basically, if you remember from a previous video, this is like when you fire weapons and when you take damage to your shields, you generate flux, and when you reach max flux, your ship will get overloaded if you don't vent it. Which brings us to the next point, vents. Your flux dissipation is the rate at which you vent your flux when you are trying to discharge it by pressing V to vent. So for ships that are going to be taking a lot of damage on their shields, or have energy weapons which generate a lot of flux, you typically will want to have a lot of vents. So I could, for instance, drop a couple points here and then pop a couple into vents. So now I'll have faster dissipation at the expense of losing some of my flux capacity. So here's your shield flux per second and your weapon flux per second that's generated. And I think this is a factor of the weapons that you have equipped. Then you've got your hull modifications. So these, like all this stuff, have these ordnance point costs, and they range from 4 at the low end to 20 at the high end, and some of these are pretty strong. So these are just different things that let you sort of tailor what your ship is good at. So there's like automated repair unit, which is really nice. This, you want to probably have this on at least one ship in your fleet, because I believe that the repair time out of combat applies to all the ships in your fleet. And you've got engine upgrades, upgrades to like hull integrity and things like that. And yeah, so that gives you a lot of flexibility. I went with this integrated targeting unit, which basically gives me an extended range, which will allow me to do damage while not taking it myself. So there's a ton of stuff you can do here. There's variants and weapon groups. So here my point defense lasers are all on one weapon group. Pulse laser turrets are on a separate one. My SRMs, my short-range missiles, are on another hardpoint, and then my forward-facing antimatter blasters are on this one. You can see how what the flux per second is here. You can change the firing mode so that Group 1 fires either linked or alternating. Group 1 is my antimatter blaster, so I'll probably set those to linked so that they shoot at the same time instead of one after the other. You got your shield, all that stuff. So that brings us to cargo. As you can see here, I think I already went over this a little bit, but this is what I've actually got in my cargo. and that includes personnel, fuel, and all that stuff too. So I've got some weapons here, which if I were so inclined I could switch out with my existing weapons. Although another gripe I had about this system is that when you mouse over this weapon, it doesn't... Oh, okay, so I guess you can see the info like this. Alright, well I'd like to be able to see it at a glance just by mousing over, but that's probably fine. Anyway, so then your cargo, and then your map. This is a map of the solar system. Right now there's only one, but I imagine eventually there's going to be multiple solar systems. So there's two factions right now, well actually three. There's the hegemony, there's a try something or other, and then there's the pirates. So the blue guys and the brown guys are at war with each other, and the pirates are at war with everyone. Then there's actually these gray guys too. There's a fourth one. They're like independent traders. So I've been kind of fighting the blue guys, the pirates, and the traders. And the brown guys like me, which is good because so far the only space station I've been able to find is manned by the brown guys. So here you can see I can just left click to fly around. Your speed has a modifier that changes based on how far you are away from a celestial body, like a planet or whatever. Ooh, let's see if I can go fight these guys. No, they don't want me. I'm trying to engage this fleet. Maybe it'll bump into me? Maybe not. I'll just go to the station and show you that. So I just left click on the station. Here you can trade or hire personnel. There's all kinds of weapons you can buy. Here I can buy elite crew if I wanted. So I can buy supplies, all that stuff. And then, here's your money here. And some stats. And then you've got your ship thing here where you can see the ships you've got. So if you captured a ship and you just wanted to sell it, you didn't want to use it, you could do that. And then your ships you can buy here, and there's tabs for different ship classes and things like that. Okay, so anyway, let's go find some stuff to fight, and I'll show you how the combat is different, how it's the same, and all that jazz. So let's close out of this. So again, to move around, you're just kind of left clicking. You can zoom out and zoom in a bit. It's really cool that you can kind of get a quick glance at how big a fleet is just by looking at the blob. You can see mine has got a smaller blob. There's asteroids here, but you can't really do anything with them right now. Maybe at some point you'll be able to mine them. There are mining weapons and things, but I haven't figured out a use for them yet. So what do we got here? Here's an independent trader. Let's see if I can intercept them. Nope, they ran away. What about these guys? They're being sneaky, tricksy. And you mouse over and you can see that they're trying to run away from me actively. Alright, forget it. Let's just go find something else. I see some stuff going on up here. Let's go up this way. I'm just going to pause until I find some stuff. Okay, I bumped into the other faction's fleet. They have a cruiser, so this could be exciting. The rest of the stuff doesn't really scare me. They've got a drone wing, a fighter wing with only 2 fighters it looks like, a couple of support frigates, a destroyer, and then the cruiser. The cruiser is going to be the tough part. It looks like it mostly has missiles as most of its armament, which is going to be good for me because these things have a finite amount of ammo for one, and I have all kinds of point defense weapons that'll shoot down the missiles. So this might go okay. So let's go ahead and you can open a comm link and talk to them, and you can move into engage. I don't really know what the difference between these things is. Like if I wanted to escape, obviously I would try this one. Hold your position. I don't know if this has some kind of tactical advantage or not, but I'm just going to commit my forces to an all-out attack. And then you can either let your second in command handle it, or you can take personal command of your fleet. So I'll take personal command. So here is the deployment screen, similar to what you saw in the previous videos. So it looks like I can't actually deploy all of my forces at once because I don't have sufficient points. So maybe that you know, whether you stand your ground or you commit to an all-out attack changes that So let's get at least my carrier out there. A couple of these things, that guy, and then I do want to get these things out. So I can try to call in these other things for reinforcements later. I just need to capture a point quickly. So what I'll do is I'm going to go here and set an order to assault this point. This should theoretically give me fleet points. So here's my flagship. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second. I wish there's a way I could pause without bringing up a tab. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set my point defense lasers in group 3 to auto fire, and I think my pulse lasers is group 4 as well. So then I've got this, let's see, antimatter blasters. So let's go see how this is going here. Looks like we're about to capture that. Okay, so my fleet points just bumped up. Now I should be able to call in reinforcements. I'll bring in I get 11 of them, so I get that, and close support frigate. Alright, so now I'm going to clear this assignment, and I'm going to set a new assignment to assault this sensor array. Alright, let's see. I just heard a ping, so something must have shown up on radar. We got incoming, what is this? Interceptor wing, not scared. They're going to get jacked up by point defense weapons, I believe. Yeah, automatic point defenses handling business there. If I can catch up, I can actually do some damage to them too. Alright, did we capture that too? Okay, so we just captured that point. Now I can bring in the rest of my forces. There's only one more. We can deploy that. Alright, now when you issue an assault order, this basically will change to a defend order once you've captured it. So, okay, what do I got on screen here? We've got these two frigates. So what I want to do is select one of these, and I can see which ones are going to attack. Let's go ahead and intercept. So we're setting an attack order on that ship here. Hopefully this thing will be done in short order. Let's set this as target too. Let's switch to 2. Shoot some missiles at him. Sorry, it's getting loud. Alright, I handled that. I don't even know where the other... I thought there was another frigate around here somewhere. Let's go ahead and set a strike order on that and set its target. Switch to missiles. Oh. I think I'm out of missiles. Alright, this thing is going to be kind of tough. I think. Maybe not. Alright, I have to bend my flux right now because it's getting too high. Ooh, that hurts. Ouch. Holy crap. Whatever the thing has does a lot of damage. Oh, just got rocked. Alright. That almost sucked for me. What do we still have up on the radar? Nothing. So, I'll just go ahead and set a new assault order for this point. So we disabled that. If I have enough Marines, and I don't know what affects the success rate, but that could potentially get captured at the end of the battle. That would be sweet, because it's a cruiser, and I do not have any cruisers. So let's see. All I have on the radar right now is fighters, which I'm not too concerned about. Ah, here we go. Here's that. Let's set a strike order on that. Bring up my shields. Set this as a target, wherever it went. So I can keep an eye on its flux and stuff. Okay, I got owned. Pretty quickly. And we can... These things are probably going to retreat since all their buddies are dead, but Most of my forces are going to go assault this and just fight these things along the way. I'm going to go ahead and fend my flux. These guys are probably bugging out now, maybe not, I don't know. Let's capture this point anyway, just for funsies. Do they have any more capital ships? I don't think so. Okay. Captured that. I don't know why the frame rate's dipping so much. Maybe these particles. These do slow your movement. Alright, so the wasp wing, enemy wasp wing retreated. Alright. So the mission should be done. Alright, well, the balanced cruiser is not boardable. If it was boardable, I'd be able to just see right here, it'd be an option to board. But I scrapped all this stuff. Let's see what I got. This shows damage sustained and all that stuff here. I lost some crew, some green crew, some regular crew, and some veteran crew. And what did I get out of it? I got medium graviton beams, attack laser, burst PD, harpoon, fuel, and supplies. I'm just going to take all that stuff. You can go over capacity, and I'm not sure what that does exactly. Maybe it increases the amount of fuel consumption you use if you go over your cargo capacity. I'm not too sure. Your travel speed, who knows. Probably requires some testing. Alright, so we handle business, and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Everything else is just kind of more of the same. Ooh, what's this? Independent mercenary. Oh, they want some too. Here's another cruiser. Oh, this is a different one from before. Alright, we'll just go ahead and handle business here, since all they have is fighters, interceptors, and one cruiser. So we'll just move into engage. This time, let's see what happens if I do hold my position. Both defending, take personal command. Seems like that gave me more deployment points. I believe last time I had a max of 47 and now it's 57, so maybe that's what's up. I don't know. Alright, so I'm just gonna set an assault order here to get the ball rolling. Now you'll notice that because that fleet engaged me so quickly, a lot of my ships already have damage on them, including my flagship. So that kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? I think I rearmed. Let's see, sap it. Yep. Pretty much rearmed and good to go. So we'll just go try to handle this cruiser once we find it. Oh, it's getting so choppy. Right, radar contact. It's just the interceptor wing. I'm gonna keep my flagship advancing up the middle and see if I can't find their cruiser. Wondering if they went to the other point. Okay, so we captured that. I'm going to remove this assignment, and then I'm going to set a assault assignment on the other point. Where did that cruiser go? I hope it's not trying to run away. I would be very upset. That ping means there's missiles incoming. Ooh. Ooh. That was interesting. For some reason my pulse lasers are not shooting at those missiles. Maybe I need to have a different kind of point defense. But let's see. I'll just go ahead and vent that flux off just because. I still don't see that cruiser. Oh, here it is. It is there. Alright, strike. Let's go take care of this guy. don't know if I'm within range to actually have these SRMs go for it, but... Here's my bombers. Big damage. Man, it's got a lot of flux. I gotta vent this before I overload. Oh, this thing's about to get worked. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you can actually take damage to modules now too. Whoa. Oh, that hurts. Let's reshields. Oh, there we go. Boom. Alright. That thing is dead. But there's still little fighters flying around. And I'm just going to capture this point. The fighters are probably going to run. It'd be really excellent if I could board. Oh man. Yeah. The cruiser is scrapped, but it looks like I can capture this assault fighter wing. I don't have any of these, so that's great. Oh no, I lost a bomber wing. Alright, so click board. So yeah, this is mine now. I lost veteran crew, regular crew. I'm just gonna take all this stuff. Take all. Alright, now it's time to save the game, for one, and then get to the station. I don't want to fight. No. Well, I didn't mean to engage those guys. I just want to go repair and refit, but they keep showing up. What can I do? So, let's fight this battle. Set this stuff to auto-fire. I set an assault order on the middle. The enemy mostly has freighter-type ships, so this shouldn't be too much of a challenge. What do we got here? Point defense frigate. Let's intercept that. So you can see the priority, I think, on these things here. When you set an order, priority high, whereas when I set intercept, that's priority top. This is that kind of chain of command AI. Alright. Some missiles going. So far. Here. Let's take care of this guy. Set his target. So I can get within range to use my SRMs on it. I'm not actually sure what the range is. I can see the range here, but I don't know what the range on my missiles is. Not sure if he's running or what. Oh, he's capturing this. Here, let's see. Switching to missiles. Losing shields. Really want that thing to die, but let's go see what's going on back here. One of their freighters was disabled. That's good. I think. Maybe it was their... Not sure. Let's go try to blow up one of these cute little freighters over here. Oh, there goes one. This guy's about to get oh, two. And I don't know where the other guy went, but if he hasn't run away already, he's probably about to. Zypho swing retreated. Buffalo class disabled. Wolf class retreated. That should be the end of the mission. Is that it? That's it. And I didn't capture any of these, too bad. But I got more salvage, just supplies and fuel. Alright, maybe, can I just live in peace now? Quick save the game, go to the station. Hooray. Alright, that's going to be it for now. Again, this is Starfarer Alpha 0.5a. You can find it over at fractalsoftworks.com. I'll put the link in the description. Awesome game. Well worth the $10. Easily the best $10 I've spent in the last, I don't know how long. It's a good value. Just buy it. You'll thank me later. Alright, that's it. Goodbye.